pretexting this with well, giving some context for the video. The idea is that, for one, this is a live video, and two, that my time in DC was for a job fair. So I wasn't just in DC just to like party and sightsee and go to the Smithsonian and stuff like that. So my time in DC was interesting to say the least because I was there for the job fair. You know, it was mainly job fair related things. I even made sure to book in an extra day in DC so that we'd have time to do cool stuff. Yo, Kirby, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you. But that extra day that we booked to spend in DC, we spent eating McDonald's and waiting for our flight, which was delayed, and then I'm home. Like, that was about it. So when it comes to sightseeing and doing stuff like that, we did some of that yesterday. I was able to see the White House, the Washington Monument, the Vietnam War Monument, the Korean War Monument. I got to see the Lincoln Memorial, which I was actually pretty hyped for. And I got to see the courthouse of the Supreme Court. And I mean, I got to see a lot of cool stuff. But I guess the main thing that I realized is that I'm not much of a sightseer. So a few of them were cool at the beginning, but then after a while I was like, oh, I'm just kind of walking and I'm looking at things, and looking at things is fine. But if you don't like stay there for a legitimate period of time, or have like a tour guide who talks about it and you learn a little bit more information, the most I get from it is just saying, hey, I was here. Hey, I was also here. And I'll release a video that has a collection of pictures. It's too bad I wasn't able to stream a lot of it, but due to a lot of what I was doing in the job fair, going from booth to booth, talking with different agencies, using the app that they give you for the job fair, I ended up draining my phone battery a lot. Having to check my phone to make sure I didn't miss appointments for interviews, having to check my phone to see, okay, which booths have I visited, which booths do I need to visit, things like that. Searching information about an agency before you go up and talk to them, things of that nature. My phone was constantly on low battery throughout the whole trip because I was continually using it in order to coordinate different moves during the job fair proper. So in the end, I feel like I didn't get the most out of Washington, D.C. that I could, and I don't feel like that's Washington, D.C.'s fault in any way, or even really the job fair's fault. I feel like it was just my lack of experience. Next time around when I go to Washington, D.C., because this job fair is mandatory, and it's a 2-year scholarship, which means I have to go every year, next time around I'll know a few things. Number one, also thank you for smashing that like button, truly appreciate it. Next time around when I go to Washington, D.C., I'll know that it's a big battery-consuming thing, like to use the app and to continually have to check in with booths. Oh, also, we have 2 viewers and 2 likes. Thank you kindly. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. I'll know that the app is a really battery-consuming thing, and that I'll need to probably just use the app a little bit less. Kirby said bring a power bank. That actually does sound like a pretty solid idea. Yo, Montel, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Bringing a power bank would be a pretty good idea. I know one thing that I'm interested in doing next time around for the job fair is not even really use the app, except to check times for events like the day before. After that, it's not even needed. So I would check the app a lot to ask about agencies and to ask like, oh, like what do you do? So before I went up to an agency, I would look at the app, learn more about the agency I was going to talk to, and then talk to them and already have a familiarity about it. But I feel like that's actually not the right way to go. Rather than look at the app and learn about the agency first, I actually found it was more engaging to hear from the people who were at the booth, who actually worked with that agency, what they did and their experiences, rather than just what the app told you. The app gives you just a brief and vague description anyways. Two, another thing that I feel like was a mistake I made was looking at the app and trying to specifically find agencies I was interested in via the app and mark them down, and then try checking off each one as I went through. That was also pretty stupid. Instead of doing that, I recommend just going to each and every booth and you check them off by saying I completed all the booths in this row, now let me do all the booths in this row, and so on and so forth, and move your way through. Also, I learned that if you look at a lot of, yo, X, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button, truly appreciate it. I also learned that when you go the first day and you go to all the different booths and agencies, oh, Kirby said Black Luster Soldier wins again. Yo, is Black Luster Super Soldier in Duel Links now? Because that would be pretty cool, but isn't he too new? Or what? I know that was really off topic. But anyways, Kirby said no. Okay, that makes sense. X said, did you smash in Washington? No, I did not smash in Washington. I'm still abstinent. I did mess around with Tinder a little bit while I was in Washington, D.C., and I got actually a good number of matches, but there was no real point to it because I wasn't going to be in Washington for that long of amount of time anyways. That being said, you go from booth to booth. The first day, if you go to too many places on the first day of the job fair, then the second day isn't really worth it because you would have already talked to most people. Though, I do think the second day is great for getting interviews. People are going to be going in trying to get interviews as much as possible day one, so they're going to be overbooked. And day two, you'll be able to get an opportunity and would have already talked with people before. Yo, let's see. Kirby said Slifer is available in Duel Links. I believe I heard something about that. Montel said, why didn't you smash in Washington? Because I'm abstinent. Why? Unless I'm also getting married in Washington, I don't know what's going on. Kirby said Tag Duels and U-Bell have been announced in Duel Links. Announced? Are they in the game proper yet, though? Like, can you do them now? Or have they just been announced? Because that's definitely interesting. I've been hearing about the Tag Duel thing for a good minute. But I've yet to actually do it myself. Yo, Hazards Vegito, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. But I've learned that you should try to visit as many booths as possible in the job fair. You shouldn't try to keep track of them. You should just go for it. You should try and get interview opportunities whenever possible, each and every time. You should not pay as much attention to the app that they give you for the event, other than to just pay attention to when things start. And that's it. You'll know when events are about to end because everyone's leaving. Don't expect the smorgasbord of food. They have a buffet for each and every meal, but the buffet is one food item and you can eat as much of it as you want. Like, one day was like breakfast burritos, and another day it was like Danishes, but it's not like a variety. I think with the Danishes, we had 3 different Danishes. With the breakfast burrito, it was one type of breakfast burrito, and that was it. Now, keep in mind, I'm only talking about breakfast because that's the only meal that I eat a day. But their breakfast buffet was a little lackluster, considering the fact that they didn't have, like, eggs and bacon. I feel like that was the biggest complaint I heard from a lot of people about the breakfast, is that they didn't just have, like, meat and eggs. Like, a lot of people have been just satisfied with that. But I feel like I missed a few things in the live chat. Montel said, but the Washington hoes are monumental. I mean, I see what you did there, Montel. But I wanted to at least give you the shout out with the joke. Kirby said, I'm just over here on Dueling Book. Still don't mess with the Dueling Book. Too used to automated dueling, but I still haven't gotten YGO Pro. Oh, speaking of which, this is a good time to also talk about video making in Washington. So if you guys kept up with when I was in Washington, D.C. via the videos, then you would know that the videos were lackluster, and that at the very time that I finally started filming on the streets of Washington, D.C., my phone died. Because, again, like I said, I used my phone a lot during the job fair in order to use the job fair app and to research agencies and to set schedules for appointments for interviews. So when I finally was able to stream, my phone died, and it wasn't really useful. So that's another thing that I've learned. Like Kirby said, I should probably have some kind of power pack or some additional thing that I can attach to my phone or to help charge my phone, so I don't have to worry about that in the future. Montel asked, did I see any protests while I was in Washington? No, I did not, but I did see the stuff on the news about Trump recently, because Dad was watching the news. I'm not a very political person, but I like seeing people debate and argue, so I did watch the news with my dad a little bit. Me and my dad also watched on Netflix End of the Fucking World, which is a new show on Netflix. I didn't finish the series, but I've seen a good few episodes into it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I feel like it is definitely an interesting show to check out. I feel like it's worth it. I learned a few things recently. Montel said I need to watch that. Oh, definitely. You should check it out. One thing that I learned is that the Baskin Robbins that was nearby the hotel that we went to in Washington, D.C., it sells large milkshakes for $7, which is the same price that Burrito Bowl at UAH sells large smoothies. Miss me with that lame shit Burrito Bowl. I'm not saying the Burrito Bowl smoothies aren't very good, um, but I will tell you that they're not like Baskin Robbins milkshake quality. How can you sell them for the same price? There's no way. And the smoothies that you get from Burrito Bowl are going to be heavily ice based. You're not getting like quality ice cream. Miss me with that. It needs to be a lower price. Kirby said milkshakes, and Montel said, "Do they bring the boys in the yard?" Well, considering that the Burrito Bowl smoothies are now the main way to get like some frozen goodness on campus, they're gonna bring me to the yard. So I learned from my friend Allison that sadly, Kirby said, "Where did one of the beds behind you go?" The bed's right here. Yeah, the phone is just higher up because I'm not sitting down. I'm standing at the moment. Yeah, so I did it a little bit differently. Instead of doing a sitting vlog, it's like a standing vlog, which is why you can't see the Dragon Ball freshness here. But I learned from Kirby said, "Well, crap." So, Allison messaged me while I was in DC, and she said that she was gonna cry because World of Wings on campus has stopped serving milkshakes. Dun dun dun! It was probably because they ran out of money. So, World of Wings here at the University of Alabama in Huntsville takes ice cream and puts it in a blender and adds a little bit of milk and then says it's a milkshake. So, I mean, you will sit there and you will watch them fill an entire blender with ice cream and then, like, put a little bit of milk on it and blend that up. And they'll be like, "Here's 2 shakes." We just made 2 shakes with that, which blows my mind. And to compare that with Baskin Robbins, a large shake at Baskin Robbins is 4 scoops. A normal shake at World of Wings was half of a blender. Just saying. So, the World of Wings establishment has stopped selling milkshakes, according to my friend Allison, which is heartbreaking because now there are only 2 ways to get delicious frozen treats here at the university. Way number 1, you can go to the C store, which is like a gas station store on campus, but you can't get gas. And you can go there and buy milkshakes, but they're the milkshakes where it's like a weird frozen cup, and you put it in a machine, and it like blends it up, and it puts fucking milk in it, and then you have a shake, and you can change the thickness, but it's not very good. It's alright. And then you can get smoothies from Burrito Bowl, and that's about it. So Kirby said the X-File theme starts playing when we were talking about how World of Wings stopped selling milkshakes for whatever reason. Is Violent Blue gay is the name of someone else who's on the live chat. I'm going to call you Violent Blue because I think that is a cool name. Yo, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. He said, hey. Montel said, just go to McDonald's, bruh. Well, that brings up another interesting point. Next Friday is when I go in for my driver's license test. So I'll be hopefully getting my license soon, but no promises on that. Dad and I are supposed to practice driving sometime Sunday. Practice driving a little bit more. But if I do get a driver's license and then I do also happen to get a car, then I'll be able to just go wherever I want. But keep in mind, I walk all the time. Also, McDonald's for a shake? Miss me, Montel. There are so many better places to get shakes around here than McDonald's. I actually still have yet to have a McDonald's shake. Montel said it's about time. Kakaduki Poo Poo Butt said, hey, looking good. Yo, thank you kindly. I'm going to call you Poo Poo, specifically. Good to have you, Poo Poo. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Ooh, I just got a message from Skelly. Says that she's watching Stranger Things. She said, what about me? Right now I'm doing a vlog, but Skelly can't see that because she's not watching the vlog. Montel said, if you need any pointers, hit me up. I'm an awesome teacher. Thank you kindly, Montel. I appreciate that. You've already taken the driving test, so if you do have any tips and tricks, you can feel free to drop those in my Facebook inbox. Truly appreciate it. Right now, I'm going to be a little busy tonight because I have a few of the following things that I have to do. Number 1, I was given a set of materials during the job fair from a number of government agencies that are like, hey, check us out. Hey, do like this job opening, like come here and like send information and do stuff like that. Montel said, here's one hint. don't hit on the instructor. Yeah, I feel like that probably is a solid hint. This isn't Drake and Josh. I'm not Drake. um, but I have a lot of materials I have to look at from the government agencies that I talked to at the job fair. A lot of them want me to send them additional information to go along with my resume. Some want me to schedule phone interviews. I got an email from the FBI saying, like, yo, check out this position. So I have, like, a lot of things I have to do that are just, like, leftover things from the job fair. Then I have the Certified Ethical Hacker exam that I'm going to be taking again in February. So for that, I'm going to have to be studying more cybersecurity-based things and continually studying that and making sure that it's solidly in my mind so that when I take that test that I'm ultra prepared. Then I missed the first week of school because I had to go to the job fair. So then I have to do all the schoolwork that I missed from missing the first week of school. And I essentially have to do all those things at once. Also, I have a security clearance that I have to fill out paperwork for. So I have to fill out the paperwork for the security clearance. And again, I have to do all these things within a small time period at the same time. So, I mean, it's a lot. So Shorty said, yeah. Yo, Shorty, welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Don't forget to smash that like button. Truly appreciate it. Angry says, sounds cool. And then he said, well, boring. And then he said, where are the hoes? Right now, I'm the only one here. So if there are any hoes here, I guess I'll know. But right now, I'm just talking about my day at this point. And I also was talking about how was the job fair and how was my time in Washington, D.C. Long story short on Washington, D.C., I didn't have the best time I could have had, but the only person's fault that is my own, and I know in the future how to do things a little bit differently in order to help have a better experience than I had this time around. When it comes to flying in airplanes, okay, so every airplane ride I've had in the last couple of days, and I've only had two. Going to Washington, D.C. and coming back from Washington, D.C. What I've learned about riding in a plane is that I feel like I would enjoy it more if it was like a bigger plane. I would enjoy a noisier plane. Every time I'm on a plane, people are really quiet. They don't talk much. I don't know why it's so quiet. I also would enjoy more flight attendants. We have one flight attendant that goes down the row and gives everyone something to drink. And all I want when I'm on the plane is just a cup of ginger ale. It takes forever to get the ginger ale. I want the ginger ale. I was so excited to get my ginger ale on the flight back here that when I drank the whole cup of ginger ale, the guy thought I was dehydrated and he got me a Sprite. He was like, he needs more. And then he got me a water. So I'm glad that when I finally got something to drink, I got like multiple things to drink. But it just takes a long time because it's a smaller plane, so they only have one cart. The solution would be to have two carts because there were multiple flight attendants. One was like a flight attendant in training who was the one who gave everyone their drinks, and the other one was like training them. But if they had two carts and they both went down the aisle and they could work two aisles at the same time, whoa, it would just be so much faster. It just seems like it took a minute. When it comes to planes, I think that's pretty cool. Like having the flight service. I feel like it would be way worse if I didn't have something to drink while I was on a plane. I also like looking out of the window. I always am in a seat where I'm right next to the plane wing. I've yet to be on a plane and look out the window and just get a clear view without the wing being right there. And when I first was on a plane and I saw the wing, I was like, oh, that's really cool. You probably don't always get to have a seat that's right next to the wing. But then the second time I was like, oh, look at this wing. It's in my way. I can't just look straight down. It's like the only experience I haven't been able to have. I'm always looking around the wing in some way. I like looking at clouds vertically. Like looking straight down at clouds as you travel on a plane. I think that's cool. At certain elevations, you can be so high that the clouds look like the ground. And I think that's so I would say that was one of the really solid parts of my trip to Washington, D.C. was riding on a plane. Going through the airport was alright. It's not anything to call home about, and it's not necessarily like a hard process. I've noticed that certain airports do things a little bit differently from others, and I feel like some of the things that they implement to make it quote-unquote easier at certain airports make it a little bit harder. So I feel like the inconsistency is a little bit weird. I also noticed that they don't always check your stuff thoroughly, which is weird. I forgot that I had brought my Kindle with me on my trip, because when I went through the Huntsville airport, they weren't able to like detect that I had the Kindle in my bag in the first place. And I used to carry around that Kindle all the time to listen to music, but I cracked the screen and now I have a phone and I use my phone to listen to music. I used to have a flip phone, so it was really different. So they couldn't detect that I had the Kindle in my bag. And at the Huntsville airport, they only ask you to like remove your laptop. So I did. I like followed instructions, and then I was able to go quickly through like the check and everything. But then when I get to the Washington D.C. airport and I do the same check and I do just the same thing I did before, they were able to detect that I still had the Kindle, which I had forgotten about, and it took a lot longer for me to get my stuff the second time. Um, but I'm not upset with anyone other than the Huntsville airport in that situation. I would like them to like improve their machinery. I don't think it's good that you'd be able to sneak something like that through. That's not safe. There's a reason why they're like checking to see what you have. So I think that's weird. But I hope they fix stuff like that in the future. But yeah, right now I'm taking a little bit of time to decompress, just to chill before I have to take on that pile of stuff that I referred to earlier in this video of things that I have to work on. It's definitely a lot. So I'll probably do a couple more videos during this like decompression period. Tonight at a certain point I'll be hanging out with the boy Winslow, and I might spend the night at Winslow's. Then tomorrow I'll be hanging out with Colin, CJ, and Gerard, aka Q, CJ, and Gerard. Yo, it's your boy, oh yeah, saying rip. Montel said, go check out Adam Ruins Everything on Airport Security. Interesting. I've never watched Adam Ruins Everything, so that might be cool. Also, before I tune out for the night, and do another video, well, I mean, tune out of this video only to do another video, I recommend you guys check out Soul Brother Number 3. If you haven't checked out his channel, it's definitely worth watching. Right now, a lot of his videos have a Christina Aguilera-based theme for the ongoing joke that they have going through the videos. I didn't think they would be able to pull a whole meme off of Christina Aguilera, but it's been working. They've done like 2 videos straight. Aw yeah said, is there going to be a gangbang? No, I'm the only one in this room. I don't see how a gangbang is currently possible. But thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that bell so you're notified whenever we do these live streams. Don't worry, I'll have more videos going on later tonight, but I wanted to wrap this video up because it's been going on for like 23 minutes. Aw yeah said, I mean with Winslow and the crew. Nah, no gangbangs going on with Winslow or the crew. Just hanging out, possibly doing some rap stuff, probably watching Netflix, but more than likely, just talking nerd stuff is what we do. Hashtag always nerdy. Hashtag Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera. Our pop star savior. Yo, thank you all once again, and have a wonderful day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you all, yeah. I hope you have a great night as well.